It's just been one of those weeks. There we go. You know what? But we're going to start out fresh. That's how I feel. So, welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello, and this may look familiar because I've been doing this painting for a couple of days now. Just muting myself everywhere else except for where I need to be. So, I apologize. Mute. So, we're going to be working on this. I kind of misspoke in my short when I was showing and describing these, or this. But I said it was a project for a local comic book shop, and it is, in a sense. They just don't know it yet. No, the thing is that they have. I am looking forward to getting a consignment with that place. I can sell some of these there. So, talking to one of the employees there, he thought it would have been a really good opportunity. So, instead of putting or giving them something that I've had done, I really wanted to do something fresh. So, the Daredevil. Did I put all my stuff away? Give me one hot second. It's still early. Still haven't had all my caffeine yet. Thank you, bud. All right. So, let me start from the beginning here. So, a few weeks ago, or maybe last week, it just feels like forever sometimes, I did this painting of Spider-Man on this canvas. And I enjoyed it so much so that I'm like, I really want to do more work on canvas. And I have a bunch of artboards, and I want to do more work on artboards. Trying to utilize all of the paper and medium that I have, all the canvases that I have. So anyway, I finished this piece in between that and now. And took a trip to that comic book store to pick up some blank comic covers because I want to draw on those as well. Something I'm honestly, party people, I am just bucket listing things that I've been wanting to do forever. So bought a bunch of blank comic books. That's not the right word. Comic books with blank covers so that I can draw on them. And one of these days I'll showcase the collection of comics that I bought. Anyway, one of the things that I've been learning to do in trying to remove the introvert nature of my creativity is talk to people about art. So one of the gentlemen's there working, I feel terrible because I'm good at art, terrible with names. So I showed the gentleman some of my artwork. He said, "Hey, you should probably get a hold of my boss. I think it'd be really cool to have some of this stuff up there." I said, "Dope." Went home, I painted Daredevil. This one here. Painted the Daredevil. The Daredevil. There's no duh. Triple D, the Daredevil. Painted this. Came out great on the artboard. I made a boo-boo and spilled some water, so I'm going to fix that piece, and then I'm going to seal it the way I should have. So when I finished this, I went and I'm like, oh, I have all of these other boards. And I grabbed this large. What size is this? 16 by 20, I'm gonna say. My industrial, yeah, 16 by 20. So, drew it on this, painted it on this currently. And then it just wouldn't feel right to have two artboards and a canvas because I wanted it to look like a collection. So I redrew Spider-Man in a different pose and I'm in artboard. So I can do that here. So this is going to be the next piece that I'll share with you guys live. And then I'm going to go and take it to that comic shop. And if they put them up, I'll absolutely show you guys that. So in the meantime, we're done here. I'm just going to play some tunes. It's going to be pretty much a chill day. Like I said, it's going to be a palate cleanser from the unmitigated disaster that was yesterday's live stream. And I'm not going to talk too much about what happened yesterday. I've deleted most of it from my memory. It just wasn't a very pleasant experience. I was hoping for something better. That's always the goal. And I think it was just a I don't know, a clash of personalities, I guess, is a nice way of saying it. And it just continued, and I really didn't have control of my own stream, my own show. And I felt kind of sucky about it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Things were done, things were said, and that stream will not be available in any playlist on my channel. So if you missed it, good for you. If you caught it, I apologize. So anyway, that's that. And today's new. And I'm going to start adding some paint to this piece. So I got it taped off. I'm going to work on the background so I can clean that wet mark, that blemish there. While I still try to figure out what I'm going to do on the edges. I kind of like the idea of the red, the white, and the blue. Little America action. Sorry. I don't always try to say stuff with my art. I'm not that type. But I think that is those colors juxtaposed to, I had just struggled saying that word, the Punisher and what he stands for. I thought it would be kind of interesting. All right, enough of that. So I'm just gonna chill. If you're around, if you're hanging out, say hello. Tell me how you're doing. Or we just chilling. Y'all don't even have to say nothing. But honestly, I'm just trying to put space between me and what happened and move on. Cool. But we could talk about anything. You guys are watching Daredevil? Are you guys expecting Frank Castle to show up anytime soon? I am. Let's see how this looks. That's not bad. I'm going to add more white in here. I'm not going to be talking throughout the whole piece. Like I said, I just want to paint. But if you have anything you like to talk about, bring it up. Because we hanging out. My palette's pretty dirty. Meaning it's been dry overnight. And this background color is kind of dry, so I'm trying to use a lot of moisture in my brush to reactivate that bottom layer, because it'll make it easier for me to add the type of blending that I'm looking for. And I don't really care if it's too streaky. But I want it to be darker. I like this blue. I'm gonna put some tunes next to me. I got a bad shoulder. So for me to get these straight lines, I have to turn my body in such a way I'm not really looking for smoothness. I just want it to actually appear smoky in the background. And I want to give the appearance of kind of like a city skyline, even though in super fine detail, not suggested, not implied. Yeah, suggested. Excuse me, I'm gonna put more water in here, more white. That might be too much. That's okay. I'm trying to monitor all my feeds because I've had a really bad time streaming lately, either with sound or with picture, and it's quite frustrating. He's already in the dark suit, so. The Angel Desu, good morning. It's morning where I am, so good morning to you. I'm really just trying to find some contrast on the background and the head and his body so that when I add the highlights, I don't know if it's going to be pure white or some other colors, but it needs to stand out, and this will give Frank here a little smoke halo. I think that's not a bad start. And I'm still using yesterday's dirty palette. I do that a lot and just let it commingle either with the newer paints. It's kind of like the benefits of gouache. Gouache. Just adjusting the mic, sorry for all the bumping. The way I have this microphone, it's on an arm attached to my table, so
if you want to go deeper into the art of editing, to build real skill.
Hey Angel, can you guys hear me okay? Again, I've been having issues with audio, so I'm just making sure. So if there's anybody out there, give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know I sound all right. I got headphones on, so it sounds clear to me, but that's not always the case. I appreciate you. Appreciate the heads up and the assist. I'm honestly looking for a change of pace from these characters. Even though I love them, I draw them way too often. You know? At first you thought it was... You don't know who Frank Castle, the Punisher, is? I really shouldn't be drawing on a platform or painting on a platform. Gotcha. More DC and anime. Or manga. Anime. Yeah. I've been wanting to do a manga or anime inspired painting in a while. But I haven't really kept up, honestly. I haven't watched Chainsaw Man. I've watched a little bit of maybe the first season or two, first season of One Punch Man, and I just put my whole hand in there. But I'm old school, man. I'm a Naruto Shippuden and the original Naruto fan, and Bleach, and of course DBZ. Tighten up that leg. I definitely feel I need to expand my my nerdisms. All right, and read a bit more and follow a bit more, but I'm not sure. I don't know how far I want to commit. We dry here? Yeah, we dry. That's pretty cool. That you're planning on writing your own manga? That's awesome. Yeah. And not having much time for watching anime makes sense considering some of their I did it again. Some of their stuff lasts so long. Uh, my wife and I binged Bleach, and then we binged Naruto. Up until the last Naruto, the last. I think we watched the first Baruto movie, and then that was it. We don't follow that. We don't follow the show. We watched a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen, which looks amazing. But that's it. But man, yeah. You don't have to give too much away of your idea, but are you planning to do a day in the lifestyle manga, or are you gonna go full action Shonen Jump manga? Shonen Jump. I gotta remove this tape so I can see. But yeah, that'd be cool. All right. That's a good beginning here. I can add. shown in action funny enough, but it's really controversial, which is why I'm scared to do anything yet. It's really, really controversial. I tell you, I wouldn't be afraid of. I'd say just do it, see what happens. I understand if you're afraid of like maybe backlash, but even if you don't produce it, I say write it anyway because maybe it is ahead of its time. I wouldn't hold back because of that. People have produced far worse. But okay. Action, funny, and controversial. Well, we peaked. The interest has peaked already. But either way, good luck, man. All I can say is, I hope you're encouraged to do it.
Gaza is at a tipping point. The adults who are malnourished today will die. That is
I see. It's about your religion. That's why. About could tear things down. I see. It's okay. I see. I won't. I won't. I'll tread lightly, because I'll just say this. A couple years ago, uh, Kevin Smith made a movie called Dogma, which was just his opinion, the way he interpreted certain things, and people were beginning to lose their mind even without seeing it or watching or reading about it or whatever. Anyway, that was one example. I wouldn't say it was successful. It was all right. I remember watching it and going, that's okay. I don't understand a lot of the. It is what it is. The other one was Passion of the Christ. They were trying to boycott that movie before it even came out. So, like I said, I'm just encouraging you so that even if you don't produce it or put it out there, I'd say get it out of your head, just so that it won't consume your thinking. All right, so we'll move on from that. So I appreciate it. So what is your favorite anime or animation in general of all time? Of all time, huh? Can I give you two of them? All time. I think. If we're gonna do animation, if I'm gonna be truthful to myself, it may be Dragon Ball Z, the Cell saga, for me, and the way it expanded and concluded. To me, some of the best. I don't care what people say about the argument of, oh, they just spend 20 minutes yelling at the screen, whatever. I was totally invested when that came out, and it kind of really cemented how I felt about anime. And it kind of gives you the blueprint of everything else that comes after it. Every other show where they'll take 2 episodes or 3 to build up, build up, build up. If you've watched Dragon Ball Z, then you already know and are familiar with that rhythm and that pacing, and you're in that world. You know what to expect and what's to come, right? So that's the OG. Again, Bleach was good. It became predictable. Same thing with Naruto, but Naruto is my jam. But of all time? There's very few of them that I actually go back to rewatch. So there's always certain sections, right? If I was to go back to try to watch Dragon Ball Z, even though the original Dragon Ball, their tournaments are great, I would only want to go and rewatch the Cell Saga. If I wanted to watch Naruto, I think I'll just start at the war, the beginning of the war, and then when Madara and the rest of them come in and start tearing stuff up. I'm trying to think here, bro. What is the Garl? Ah. But then there's movies. So you want to separate them? We can separate them too. Did I wet my canvas? I did. I wet it right there. That's alright. That's going to be in black. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that fourth war. That mean that the whole thing, the build up, the slowdown, the freaking infiltration, and the medical. Ah, it's so good. I don't care. It's good. All right. So how about in terms of movie though? I don't know if I have a complete favorite anime, and you know what? That's a lie. It might be Akira, but I think everybody's is. So I'm trying to look beyond that and its place in pop culture and in history and what it means. I'm trying to think here, because I go way back. One of the first ones I've seen was Go 13, which was great. Fist of the North Star blew my mind, and still does. Ninja Scroll was awesome. But those are movies that just kind of like are so shocking. More recently, The Sword of the Stranger is amazing. I need some red. Blow you up. There's hints of it. But I'm trying to really take into account I gotta wait for that to dry a bit. I want to go a little sharper there. I'm trying to think. Again, there's so many. Garfield. I love Garfield. Smother Me. Garfield, Demon Slayer, and Smother Me. Okay. That's funny. Garfield? You caught me off guard, bro. Or Dudette. You caught me off guard. There's nothing wrong with it. Monster was great. I never get to finish it though. It's really slow. That's a slow burn. That's a 20 episode slow burn that I just can't get through, but it is amazing. To no fault of them, it's just my attention span. Berserk was okay, just a little too much. The manga and the anime. The best movie? Yeah, a little too much. want to show like maybe if it was like armor underneath the skull, almost like chainmail. But I don't want to go too far. Have you seen? Oh, what's the name of it now? It's Lupin the Third, the animated, the CGI Lupin the Third, the first, I think it's called. That's a really good movie too. And if you're into the sports stuff, Slam Dunk is awesome. The movie.
Car's ready.
Ready already?
Already ready.
It's already ready?
Ready
All
already.
right, I like that. It looks like it's battle damage.
Oil change service and more at Jiffy Lube. In and out in a jiffy. Oh, hey. You seem like the kind of person who really doesn't want Trump's face on the National Park Pass.
I haven't watched any of it. I haven't watched any of Solo Leveling. I've heard a lot about it, but I don't have an opinion on it one way or the other. Like I said, I haven't really watched much anime. I've been watching Invincible. So. Yeah, if you get a chance, the Lupin the Third, the first, the animated one, it came out, I don't know, maybe in the last 5 years, is really good, and some of their OVAs are really good. So you wouldn't be hurting yourself or your little list if you catch it. I like some of the animated shows that are short runs. I think Netflix has a show, I think it's maybe 6-8 episodes, called Tokyo is Sinking. That was really well done. And I like the artsy stuff that Satoshi Kon did, like Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress. I think that might be enough for the skull. I just didn't want it to be smooth. But yeah, I've been Percy Jackson. I can dig it. I haven't seen any of the new stuff. I remember watching they're kind of boring. Yeah. And it's funny, I've only watched a little bit of Arcane. You know what show? This was the last anime I saw on Netflix. Was their Terminator. That one wasn't too bad. And I never finished Attack on Titans. Alright, I gotta let that dry so that I can do white highlights, and I think this skull is done. I did a berserk drawing, a drawing of guts. If you haven't seen that, I'll show you in a second. But I think I've been really wanting to do Naruto, actually, more than anything. Yeah, I stopped. I think I stopped in the last season when they just started. Oh, the final season part 1, final season part 2, final season part 3, or whatever the heck it was. I kind of lost interest. But I think it was because of Jujutsu Kaisen. The animators were splitting duties. Alright, I'm gonna let that take care. I kind of like that. I might have to add something like that here just to keep it uniform, because everything seems right heavy. Give me a second, let me grab that drawing. I'm gonna scooch some stuff out the way. I'm gonna move some stuff out the way just in case any of this stuff is wet. Even though gouache does dry pretty quick. But I think I'm good to remove this tape. Sometimes I just feel restricted with the tape, so let me do that now. Now I gotta add tape to the right side so I can darken and get a little bolder with that background. And now that I have my outline, it'll be easier to do it. Sorry. All right. Let's take a quick break here from this. Palettes, Hot take, DC has better written characters than Marvel. They're better written, but are they more interesting? Ooh, fight. I don't know. Yeah, you could be right. But there's just something about Marvel that I'll always go back to. Sorry, my mic just moved. All right, okay. So, I gotta glare because I got the windows behind me. I gotta move my coconut. That should be better. I don't know if you're familiar with Afro Samurai. Not necessarily manga, but it's or anime. But he is manga inspired. It took about 8 hours of drawing, and this was one of the last few drawings before I started painting over my drawings. All right, what are you saying here? Marvel knows cinema. They know story writing. DC knows character writing. Marvel knows cinema maybe 10 years ago. The Cozy Pencil. Welcome. How are you? We're just going doing a quick little tour here so I can show what was I going to show you? Oh, Guts, and it's in a different thing, so. But I think that is for the last manga inspired or anime inspired painting I've done. Naruto. I think. I feel like I'd be lying every time I say something like that. Oh, I haven't done it in a while. I'll find something that's recent. But I have a feeling that it was this one. I appreciate it. And these were done May 16th of 2024 and May 17th of 2024. And this one was, I can't remember the month, but that was last year. My Superman. I wish I spent a bit more time with that Superman. But then again, I'm always learning and adapting and trying to figure out what style is best for me. If I can find my small sketch... One second, I'm sorry. All right, Frank, you looking good there. You're drying pretty good. All right, let me move my music. And thank you for the compliment, the Angel Destro. I really appreciate that. Trying hard, man, to get better and keep my the Hulk fell, and keep my artwork fresh and stay painting the stuff that I love to do. And I have a bunch of different type of interests, like portraiture, and I don't do landscape. I probably won't be doing landscape, but pop culture stuff. If you guys don't know who Macho Man is, then my homie Bruce Lee, and this is some practices. Rocket Raccoon. These are more recent. about a year apart. This one's got to be one of my favorite and one of my most popular paintings here of Genosuke Murakami of Usagi Yojimbo. This was also a version of the Hulk and my homage to, sorry for the glare, of the introduction to Wolverine, the Incredible Hulk cover. I wish I would have wrote down the info, but that was my version. This was one of the first things I did on live stream. It took almost 2 weeks. One, because live streams, I try to keep my live stream short, 2 hours or so. But it was kind of like the cover where Wolverine was lunging through. I just didn't do all that stuff. Not too shabby. I'm still learning. I love that fire. If I can give myself one of these. That fire painting came out pretty good. You always scared of anything painting, so all you do are doodles and sketches. Well, you can start out small. You do color pencils or markers, or even just ink. Inking it can add a whole new dimension to your sketches and doodles. And I'm not even looking sideways at you. It took me a long time just to get comfortable trying to ink. It still kind of intimidates me, so the fire is fire. Appreciate it. This is my most recent, I think, in terms of inking and painting, and sharpest in terms of realizing an image from pencil, ink, and paint. I'm trying to develop a sense of comic book covers and book covers. So the whole intention of this and why he's so bottom heavy is it was going to have the title of The Rocketeer, the comic book emblem, Marvel, DC, or whoever owns him, Rocketeer, blah, blah, blah. So that's what that was for. And some pinups. But yeah, but I was supposed to show you guts. This is on a blue color pencil. It just makes it easier. Well, honestly. With the advent of technology and what you can do with regular pencil, turning it into blue lines so that you can ink. But I do like the pencil. And this was one of the first drawings I did with the blue pencil. A comic artist by the name of Rob Norton asked for me to send him a copy of this so that he can ink over it. I'm really curious how he's going to knock it out. Because I kind of drew it so that I can ink it. And then when he asked to do it, I kind of tightened it up. But I also want to leave it open for his artistic interpretation of what something should look like. That's my goods. But most of these here are pencils, and then later on they kind of change from what I did with the pencils and side by side with the painting or whatever. Juggernaut and the Savage Dragon. You probably can't see the Juggernaut too well. There's a lot of detail in that. I sent these to another amazing artist with a great name, by the way, Duck Bacon. because everything's better with bacon. He's an amazing artist and a digital inker, and I'm really curious which one of these, if any of them, if he inked over them. So I would love to see what he did with it. And Beta Ray Bill, because he's one of my favorite. The cozy pencils. How long have I been drawing? Forever. Honestly, forever. I'm 46 years old. Let's say even if I did start at 10, right? Because we usually start sooner. But I think really using my imagination and really putting in some work. Maybe let's say 15 years old. So for 30 years. And that's, I think, being generous or being loose with the numbers. Party people. This piece right here is of Green Lantern and steel. An amazing artist, a professional artist by the name of Chuck Gibson, is putting his ink on these. He has showed me some progress pieces. Man, blew my mind already. Just the bits that he showed me, I had a smile for 2 days. I'm still smiling thinking about it. I can't wait to see how that one turns out. He looks like he's having a ton of fun with it, so I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see it. I can't wait to share it. So Chuck Gibson is the man. Send it, sign it. This might be my next one. Did I ink and paint? I already have it set on the side of Blade and Spawn. So again, I was talking about getting in the mindset of doing book covers, comic covers, book covers, and team ups and things like that, just to get my mind in that headspace. And this was one of the ones that came to mind, Spawn and Blade. And I don't know how I'm going to paint it, but I know I'm going to have a ball doing it. I'm developing a style that is really conducive to my artwork, and I'm actually excited for that one. Oh, you like Absolute Batman? I haven't read any of the Batman. The Angel Desert. If you are a fan of Absolute, I can dig it, but I haven't really read anything. I think his look is so intense that it just calls for getting drawn, I think. But this has been sprayed. I think I could probably scan it in and try to ink it and paint it, but it was very loose. Hey, do you guys want to see the model I used for? I have several figurines. This is one of them. This is my latest one. And he's so big and just very specific. The Cozy Pencil says, you have a hard time drawing things straight from the imagination. I draw from reference. And that's fine. You know, I think that you're probably being a little bit hard on yourself. I think because you're using reference, you kind of feel like you're in a safety net and it'll look like what you're drawing. I think that if you were to accept what comes out of your imagination, it'll be better than what you think it is. Just saying. Like this piece here was done in imagination. I can do this type of profile till the cows come home. Everybody knows the cow, but it was this one that I needed my reference in. Oh, that's almost close to the pose. This dude is beef. Yeah, I don't know much about him either. But it was a great opportunity to use my homie. So there's a few models here. And I don't... sorry. But your boy's old. I did say I'm in my 40s. I have no qualms. I don't care what you use to get better in your art. I don't care. As long as you are getting better. Period. This is my latest one. I think this was called Dummy 20. I think. It's actually pretty cool. Inexpensive. I think I paid $8, $9. It is 3D printed. Hugely articulated. I think this would be a really cool model to have if you in a travel case. But with all models, I would share. These are very specific, muscle tone, stuff like that. This is the one you study if you want to feel anatomy, that type of stuff. This one you want for a quick gesture study, get it on the page, tell your story, flam flam, move aside. This one's for quick. These are for study, for pose. And you should think that way when you look at pictures and references or a freeze frame of a movie, something that you like, even if it's not a figure but a color. I can't remember the name of the movie, but dagnabbit. Something Brooklyn. It starred Edward Norton and Bruce Willis. Man. Hold on one second. Ed Norton. Brooklyn. Motherless Brooklyn. Oh, okay. Motherless Brooklyn. There's a scene in there that Ed Norton's character, who's either, he's kind of like autistic, or he's kind of autistic, and he's driven to music and jazz. He ends up in this smoky bar, and the way the lighting and all that, I'll never draw a band or a jazz band or anything like that, but it was the lighting that stuck to me. And I was able to find that movie, get a freeze frame of it. I may never use it, but I love looking at it just to get inspiration from it, because something might come out of it. So until that day, that's all I'm sharing. That's why I'm sharing all this stuff with you. You never know. Sometimes those ideas develop before they're ready. That's all. Where are we at? Here we go. Batman. I'm gonna breeze by these real quick. Some inking practice. That's what. If you, as you're inking, there are some resources online where you can find pencil lines. Print them out, like this one of Jack Kirby, and ink it. This was me making fun of the old Weird Science of his aunt getting turned into an ant. So, oh no, my aunt. It made me laugh. So, there's some side-by-side pencil and the painted version. Yeah, you feel like references are to fill your mental library with enough reference to draw from imagination. You can't draw anatomy related stuff without no anatomy. Yeah, and plus, I mean, we have an understanding of it because we look at our bodies all the time and people. When you become an artist for realsies, in the sense where you become you're always studying. I'm a people watcher. I'm never really bored anywhere because I can sit there quietly and watch people. And I'll look at faces and hands, the way people walk, and I'll try to imagine, not necessarily in animation sense, but try to imagine what the anatomy's, the form, if it's interesting to me, and mental snapshots. I don't know, try to take pictures of people. That's kind of creepy. Those two. This was cool to do, redoing a comic book page. You feeling overwhelmed? Oh, from those? My bad. That's not the intention. And this was the pencil, and the cover. I got more. Good lord. And here's some studying. So I want to paint this one too. I think I. No, I haven't. What I'm feeling for is texture. I usually, before I paint, after I ink, before I paint, I spray everything with a fixative to protect the inks so they won't smudge because I use water with my paints. I use my face as reference for this. I won't show you that picture though. I got a ton of here, but I won't keep going through here. But because we're both fans of anime and manga, you gotta give props to the OGs, right? This is when I was doing watercolor. This is near the end of my watercolor experience. I hate my Vegeta though. Some Crying Freeman. Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. One of my favorite. I wish I could make a print out of that. Oh, Neon Genesis. That's it. Oh yeah, the man. Go 13. Duke Togo. Ghost in the Shell, I'm going to be honest with you. It looks amazing. It was ahead of its time. It can be a bit boring because it's really wordy. But it's really good. The second movie, the sequel, is going to put you to sleep. You may be better off watching this series, The Standalone Complex. And that's from someone who hasn't watched The Standalone Complex. So watch the first movie, skip the second. You don't have to watch the Scarlett Johansson one. That doesn't add anything. Unless, for her, you can watch it. Ninja Scroll. And this is off a freeze frame from the intro of the movie when he's about to get mugged. I added the blood effect. I don't think the blood is in the shot. Vampire Hunter D. Rest in peace, Eddie P. He passed away last year. 2 years ago. Oh my God. Yesterday, 2 years ago. Today is the 2nd. Yeah. He would have hated this, first of all, because I used reference from a character that he didn't like and used that reference to pay homage to him. And I think he would have hated it and loved it at the same time. But yeah, rest in peace, Eddie P. This is, I think, the second to last watercolor. This is me starting out with gouache. Straight reference from Barry Windsor Smith's. And then we just kind of go bananas. Two Riddlers, one from the 1960s TV show, and then my version. My Batmans. This one will always have a dear place in my heart, I believe. my first gouache painting that I produced on this channel. What's up, Ike? How you doing, sir? How are you, man? I was trying to finish up. I appreciate you, Cozy Pencil. Thank you. Finish up my show and tell. It always ends up that way because I'm still drawing the Punisher, painting the Punisher. I love that color. You know, I look at these and I'm like, man, I could have blended that a bit more. But I like the way that it looks. Well, that's good to hear, bro. I appreciate it. You're constantly working, man. I'm glad I got you. I remember I had so much trouble. This green effect, this green glow effect was such a happy accident. A rat. That is Sensei Splinter, man. Master Splinter. Yes, that is the rat from. Yes, sir. It's kind of interesting. Daredevil was taught by a character by the name of Stick. Splinter was a way for Eastman and Laird to pay homage to Frank Miller and what Miller did with Daredevil and all the ninja stuff and all that lore. The Hand, right? The ninja faction from Daredevil called the Hand. The villain ninjas from the Ninja Turtles. The Foot. That's a little on the nose. Oh no. that's totally cool. It's still one of my favorites. I did it in May. I have this idea for the shredder. It's a little dark, but I cannot wait to really get that one in there. It's going to be darker than this. Shredder in more of a samurai, in his samurai garb. No mask. He's older, so he's going to have full mustache and beard, but he's going to have the scar across his face. And he's going to have emblems on his armor. Small turtle ingots. Ooh, and it's gonna. I'm hoping that's what it's gonna look like, but that's what I had in mind. All right. I am really jonesing to do some portraits. I keep watching that Portrait Artist of the Year. I'm on 2018. This 2018 season or 2019, I think 2019. And I could just see how dark these came out, but I'm really happy with them. All right, I think we're good here. One last one. It's still watercolors. Yeah, man. Well, the turtle shells, because he wouldn't be rocking the actual turtle shell, so it's gonna be small action. I'm still kind of playing around with the idea, but it'll be something. And of course, these are still my watercolors, and yeah, and this was it. But there's one in here. I wish I would have showed it, not just out of respect for his passing. It was my my Sam Keith the Max. 2 years ago. I still wasn't comfortable, but this one may have been when I really first started feeling the ability to blend. And it probably was by accident. All right, let's get to work. That's enough show and tell. Let's show and paint. All right, so I'm gonna tape the inside. So I can work on the outer edges. It needs to be a bit more defined. Ooh, I almost spilled my Java. I really want to try to get as much as I can done today with this painting, and I got some chores to run. My car's making some weird noises, so I want to figure that out and fix that. And Good Friday's tomorrow, so I am not going to be on tomorrow. I won't be on, but I will be trying to participate in a auction on Saturday for a good cause, for two good causes. We shall see how that goes. See, now I'm curious. Yeah, you know what? It's fine. It'll be it'll be interesting for the eye, for him not to be in the center. Alright, this will be fun because it's just going to be dark with some hints of red. So I'm trying to play on the idea of Murga with the colors. So red, blood red, white of the skull, and blue shadow. We'll see how that goes. And I'm okay with being a bit sloppy. I'm just going to use what I have here. I'm going to reapply that black. Get some deeper red, and this blue here. I forget the name of it. It is Prussian blue. There you go. Ultramarine Prussian blue. Something. I have a swatch over there somewhere, and I'm really not paying attention. Alright, so I'm going to get some black, a lot of it. Because I'm going to go around the edges. And I want it thick so that I can blend it better. Now I wish I had something to prop this on top of. What can I use? I just really need to prop it off my desk so I can get around the edges. So I'm just going to use that. All right. This part's always jarring because it's so dark, but I don't care. Let's go. So it's going to be vignette. Vignette? Is that the... proper way to say that word? Probably not. Okay. This part really is tedious because it's just basically going back and forth. But I want to reactivate some of that background color. See how that kind of like blended in? It reactivates the back color, which is what I want because then it allows it to blend in better. Now I can start adding some of this red. I think once I finish up the backgrounds here, I have maybe one more session. Tighten up all the black inside the suit. Add a little better definition on those highlights from above. I think I don't like a lot of the blank spaces, and I want to make sure that those look like gloves. All right, what am I doing? What color? We going dark crimson. And this Prussian blue to blend everything. But yeah, you guys, I really appreciate the company and the hanging out. I know it's kind of a weird time of day, and amongst other things, but yeah, I appreciate you. I need that red to be a bit more subtle. Maybe not, who cares, right? That's why we put it in there. Punisher is not subtle. I'm trying to figure out how much I want him to glow. I'm really working to finish up my Hemi palette. I just picked up some Winsor Newton gouache. Not artist grade. It's too expensive for me right now. But I've noticed that I don't use a lot of the colors, and I think it's time to start working on some primary and learning how to mix my colors a bit better. Know what I mean? Oh, I want it to be more bluish gray under the knuckle. Simply because it'll give. He has blood on his white gloves, so I want to make sure that is present. And because everything is white, wet. It'll blend smokily and chaotically, which is how I want it. There's some spots that I want to add depth to it, so I'm just going to grab some black and throw it in there. It gives it a volumetric effect. You know, it's funny, I'm not going to be talking through this, and then I end up talking through all of it. Yeah, that's what I like. I might want to add some of this. Alright, I'm going to be quiet. Let you guys watch. I'm going to stand up. Alright, so we're going for the blue now. coolest animation I've seen. When you're not separating hand drawn animation and CGI. Okay, not CGI, computer animated, same thing, but we know. Okay, so let me think. And the music I'm listening to. Give me a sec. The music I'm listening to is from a YouTube website, YouTube channel called Ambient Pulse. And this one in particular is called 70s Psychedelic Rock. All right. Coolest art style. Coolest art style.
I'm Steve Ballmer, former Microsoft CEO and a basketball fanatic. But more than anything, I'm a data guy. That's why I
Coolest.
USA Backs to bring you unbiased and nonpartisan.
You know, you're not far off, man. That Spider-Verse, both of them are revolutionary in what they did. Did they also do the Mutant Mayhem, the Ninja Turtles animated movie? Alright, hold on. Angel Deso, that's such a good question. Well, because I've seen so many. So it's hard to say which one is the coolest. Have you seen one of the most unique is Tekken Concrete, which is anime, Japanese animation. That needs more blue. That's gonna be that dominant. Need more blue. Good lord, man. I wasn't expecting if you get an opportunity, Tekken Concrete is pretty good. The animation is pretty nuts. You know, homie, I can't argue with you. I think Spider-Verse, they came out and it showed such a unique way to animate that it kind of like that yeah, man. Cuz I don't think I've seen anything recent that that affects you so much. And I don't mean like emotionally affects you. You know what I'm saying? Like you see it and you're freaking wowed. Because they did so much in they used a lot of what they would have done in hand-drawn animation, but they just refined it digitally. So you know what? I agree with you, man. I might have to agree with you. Unless I come up with something else, which I can't really even think of. And I'm sure I'm missing something. If I'm doing this, I'm gonna have to lighten up the color scheme directly behind Frank. If it is truly going to be red, white, and blue motif, then I'm gonna have to. Dang it, brother, you got me. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna end up doing is sprinkling some blue on the left, and some red on the white, maybe. I don't want it to get cheesy. I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. I need more blue, lighter blue here. Maybe. No, I need it here. This part really is more experimental, trying to see what it looks like, what it's gonna look like, more than what you're trying to make it look like. I have an idea, but I want to stay loose enough where whatever happens in terms of blending and brush happens chaotically and naturally, and me not trying to force it. Letting the colors reactivate underneath. Some black here. I might have to come back. It might be too much water. They did a brilliant job with the Spider-Verse. The red and blue, though, is giving me the title, Blood and Rain. That makes it. There you go. See? We're in the same page, bro. Alright, I'm going to add more light here. Hopefully, it'll work. My brush water is dirty, so I think it's time soon to freshen everything up. But I might call it a morning also. It's still morning for me. I don't know where you're watching from, so I appreciate you hanging out with me on this Thursday morning. Let's just go for it. A dab of water. I guess the impression of a city landscape behind him is going to be out of the question. That's okay. Like I said, I wanted to naturally appear and not force it. So if it doesn't come up, I'm fine with that. Give him a weird halo. Have you seen Blood, the Last Vampire? Is kind of a short animated movie, Japanese, obviously. Seems like the only um, movies where I feel need not mentioning, but need some an audience to appreciate them are the Japanese animations. Blood, the Last Vampire. That animation is really good, and it might be it's hand drawn, but it's hand drawn on in Photoshop. So I think it has that distinction of being, I think, the only. I could be wrong. Now it could be added to the lore, but if you get a chance, check it out. All right, clean my brush, and then I'm gonna darken it in the center, but I want it kind of grayish. Dude, the Chinese stuff is what is the cube? Have you seen the cube? I think that's the name of it. I think I kind of lost the groove in there. I'm gonna have to bring it back, even though it's blue. I understood what you meant, buddy. But I think it's called the cube, and it's Chinese. Is animated Chinese animation. Now I can add some white. I'm gonna let that dry because I think I'm definitely overworking it. But I really wanted to. It's gonna look alright. I'll tie it in with the highlight. Alright. I don't need this anymore. I really only needed this tape for the top. I feel like I'm playing with fire. I'm gonna using this tape. All right, am I doing this off? I thought I had it to the line, but I guess I didn't. There you go. That's an interesting effect. The sharp lines. I must not have been paying attention where I placed the tape. Well, that's a given, just from how that came out. But I'm not hating it. Battle damage on the skull looks great. I'm gonna add some white here. It added more depth, so let's just say I did it on purpose. And it'll be our secret. What this is that? I need a square brush. It's triangle, not triangle. There you go. So do you show any of your artwork on your channel? Do you have an art channel? And I don't like that brush, but I'll use this one. I'm not going to do too much anymore. I think I got about 5 minutes for this stuff to really settle and cure. Some highlight here. The right side should dry. You know what, brother? I kind of dig it. So I'm gonna add some texture or some light here. I think I'm in a place with my artwork where I need to start being a little bit more deliberate, taking my time. I've noticed when I've done that, I've had more fun and a bit more success realizing what I am trying to accomplish. Just taking a moment, taking some time, appreciating the process. Yep. I don't want to put weight on this. I gotta add some work to Frank's face, but it's gonna have to wait till next week. Yeah, Angel Des, where, if you don't mind me asking, if it's alright to ask, where are you watching from? What part of the country? I mean, like a living room, part of the country. Nigeria. Wow. That's that's pretty awesome. Nigeria. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. A pleasure to meet you and chat with you. Nigeria. That's really cool. Let me see what the what's the time difference, brother? Or do that. I don't want to keep making assumptions. Ah, so 3 in the afternoon is a good guess of where you are. But yeah, man, that's cool. Shoot, thanks for hanging out. I saw you here watching yesterday's stream, so it's 4 p.m. Yes. So I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Pretty cool. I think the stream is going well, so I'm going to close that. All right. I think that came out good. Look how quickly that dried. I appreciate that. I really do. More than you. If this was a competition, I appreciate you being here more than you appreciate me. So I win. No, I'm just kidding. But it was cool sharing our likenesses, man. It really does make me really want to get that manga inspired painting done. This is where I end up like digressing, right? Because I'm gonna start adding details where I really don't need to, but it's just noodling, and I'm beyond my the 2 hour mark, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. I will not be back online until sometime next week. So until then, I hope you have a fantastic time, a great weekend, safe. And if you're an artist, do something creative and share it on my community tab on my post. If you want, of course. I don't Good gravy. All right. I'm gonna enhance that blood on his. Yeah, my water's really dirty. I'm just gonna embellish the same way I did his knuckles. I'm gonna embellish some of this stuff. Actually, kind of looks better. It's hard to see on camera because it's so far, but yeah, I'll give you. A little splatter. I think that is that. Where is my square? I'm just gonna add a little bit of some light gray and blue. That's gonna be my base for the highlights, especially for his buckles. In the comics, when this character first came out, it was a full black or blue suit, and he had white gloves, white thigh bands, and all that stuff. That type of stuff. The idea was actually great. That's the reason why AI can't replace human artworks. It's getting close, man. We're being threatened. Nah. I think as available as AI is to everyone, I don't think. I hate to say real artists, whatever that means. Shouldn't have to worry about it, but I don't think they should idly stand by and wait for it to take over. You know, we're not doing enough ourselves to separate us from the pack, but that I think is also changing. As I say that, I think it's changing. The heck is what? I think we have to become. I think what's going to happen is that the art styles are going to be so unique that that it's going to benefit artists. You know, I think the reason why people are and can hide behind AI art is because there's so many artists that draw the same and paint the same, in my opinion. Yeah, AI doesn't have that intentionality. No, AI does things too perfect and polished that there's no soul to it. No. I don't think the right algorithm has been reached yet. It doesn't have the ability to be spontaneous also. Because its trial and error is our trial and error. I don't know if I'm doing this thing right. It's trial and error. Is our trial and error is learning based off what we know, what we do. But it is tough. It is tough. It's tough simply because it's not the artists themselves that is creating the market. It's corporations that are creating the market for AI stuff. So the people that are benefiting from it aren't the artists. I think that if artists were benefiting from it, I think it'd be a whole different story. But we don't live in that timeline. But anyway, it's my AI opinion. Just consider, right? We all joke about Terminator, and we all joke about Skynet. Uh, but it only took that franchise, two movies, to turn evil AI into helpful AI. So we was already destined to make the thing that's trying to kill us save us. Yeah. Yes. You're right. Maybe that's what I meant, and then didn't word it correctly. AI can't. You think it can't be beneficial for artists, but others like designers and developers, it would be beneficial? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, they said the same thing about Photoshop and Illustrator until artists really just took it over and said, no, 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 this is how we're going to use it like artificial ink and artificial pencils and paints. Everybody that cried, it's going to replace the pencil, it's going to replace the artist, everything's going to look like this. I don't know. I don't know, brother. It only really takes one to accept it. Unfortunately. And you're right, everything's too smooth. Uh, but you know what sucks, brother? That even when you get good, they used to say, "Oh, did you draw that?" And you kind of take it as a compliment. Oh, yeah, yeah, I did that. Now it's like when they ask you, "Did you draw that?" It's more like, "Are you using AI?" So I don't know, man. And people are so quick to use that to try to shit. Excuse me. try to uh, disparage someone and their art style. It's becoming hard to differentiate the two sometimes. Like I was saying earlier about, I don't care where people get their inspirations from or their references from and all that stuff, but oh god, I get spam emails. But wherever you get it from, you have to put something there that's yours. You know? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's still. I only had a cup of coffee. I need water or vitamins or something. The reality is that we all live in a world that's not just black and white. There's so many different levels of gray. More than 50. So I don't know, bruh. I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. Which would use AI? Wait, hold on, let me see. Oh, you mean I gotta read the first part. For years, though, I've been trying to develop an animation software that helps speed up animation by drawing frames rather than generate them. Okay, through prediction of what I think might be next, which would use AI for thinking, though. So since the frames are drawn, they can't be corrected and so on, but progress been slow through. Now that's interesting. So you wanted to predict the in-between frame, right? Yeah. I have no idea what these these bandoliers would look like. Well, these straps on this on his vest, but who cares? It's not real. Yes, it will predict what's next, and if it's wrong, the animator can easily correct it and erase lines or wrongly drawn things in each frame. That makes sense. That's kind of cool. And you're trying to develop this? That's kind of cool. since it's using like available brushes within the software, then generating the images. All that stuff is beyond me. I used to work in IT, brother, but all I know is how to connect your computer and buy you one. That's really cool, man. I hope he's success on that. But like all things, man. Wait, hold on. Issue the PC was like research R and R, but no D. Yeah. That kind of bites. Well, man, maybe you can find some grants, or maybe you can find someone who's actually doing something like that and would be interested in your findings. All right, tighten that up, tighten that up. Yeah, I think I am good for the day. I feel like there might be a few more hours to feel fully satisfied with the way this thing looks. But I am happy with it. I think it came out better than I thought. Smooth that out. I want to smooth that out. Get some highlights in his hair. All my paints are dry on my Since January. Yeah. Well, man, the state of the world we're living in right now, man. So I can't blame anybody for disappearing from the grid for a little bit. But it sucks if you guys were close to something, or at least the conversation was fruitful, and then just for them to drop off the map. I'll tell you what, I know how that feels, and it's not fun. But hopefully it's not the end. Give Frank some waves. Hey, hopefully it's not the end, bro. And you guys find common ground again. Because I think that's an amazing idea. Oh, look at me spitting all over my paper, my drawing. I think there's too much water there. Just a hint. I think after this and the Spider-Man that I plan on doing, I am going to take a break, I think, from this type of stuff and see if I can get a bit more I don't know. I say that and then watch me go ahead and do the complete opposite. I just don't want to get stagnant or predictable, or where the growth of my art and myself stops. No, thank you. This is what happens. I've been trying to say that I was leaving for 20 minutes now. And then you get in a groove and you can't step away. But I gotta. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I think that's not a bad finish for the day. I feel accomplished. I think I have another session or so. Tighten up the face, tighten up the suit, add some more texture to the shading, clean my water. I think I'm gonna keep the palette that dirty. I can still use those colors. I just need to revive them. Oh yeah, I jokingly said one time that I'll paint on your walls. I will draw on your walls, man. If you're not careful and you leave a pencil around. But we gotta do adult stuff, and I gotta go take care of some errands. But not bad. Some detail I didn't think I was gonna put in there. I gotta tighten up the skull, but I think that's pretty good. This thing is pretty big. This is like I said, 16 by 20. So it doesn't. It takes my whole page here, my old table. I am gonna add more black so it'll blend into his legs, so it'll look like he's coming out of the shadows. I like the lights. Like the stripes. Well, all right, man. I think we're good. I think we are good. I see you in the next one. Thank you for swinging through. I appreciate everybody that came through. Get an opportunity. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe if you haven't. And have a great weekend. Happy Good Friday if you guys celebrate. Happy Easter's if you celebrate. But with that said, You guys have a good one. Love you. Mean it. God bless you. And until the next one, I'll draw you later. Bye bye.